Hi Libra, welcome to Eight of Cups Tarot. I'm working on your March reading. Sorry I'm a couple days late, but I know you're probably in the thick of it already. From the get-go, March promises to be really intense. A different kind of intense than January, so I don't want anybody to come to this reading feeling like, oh my god, everything's about to be turned upside down. But everything is about to be turned upside down. Because the energy is so profound and it's kind of broke up into very different themes halfway through the month, things change rapidly. And what we need to do changes. So I shortened the reading to just the first 2 weeks of March. And then I'm going to come out mid-month and fill you guys in on how to proceed in the newer, fiery, more fire, more action, more growth, more things coming into a physical reality in a lot of ways. And a lot of it is the result of how you handle the energy right now. So quickly looking at your astrology, Libra, and now we're just coming off of a Venus square Saturn. Venus squared Pluto last week, which may have brought up a lot of pain. Point out to us, as all of this goes on during a retrograde Mercury, it is a need. Like, the universe is going to make you really vulnerable. They're going to make you feel really raw. There's going to be situations that occur that bring emotions to the surface, whether you like it or not. It's part of everyone's masks coming off. It's part of stepping into who we truly are as humans, beginning to settle into the new vibration that we're holding after that conjunction came through. Even if it doesn't seem like a lot of things happened, maybe you have been blessed with a chart that this didn't hit a lot of aspects within you. Perfect, great. I'm so happy for you. Please still keep in mind that the majority of us have been hit, some of us, in multiple ways. And I don't think, even if nothing outwardly happened, I promise you, a lot of internal work occurred. And if you were even a little bit conscious, I'm sure you know that there was feelings of loss or anxiety. We went through a lot of that with the Saturn Pluto. And so it changed us, at least on the inside, in order to prepare us for the next phase. So from mid-January until mid-March, as promised when I had explained that original transit, it's a process of getting wiped out in order to start the rebuilding. But the rebuilding really doesn't start to occur until Saturn moves into Aquarius. And right before Saturn moves into Aquarius, we get this really beautiful, mystical, although frustrating, Mercury retrograde into Pisces, and then that touches Aquarius. It's so poetic the way that each planet touches into Aquarius. There's some kind of a connection. There's some kind of an enlightenment. There's just a knowing on how to proceed next. And it is very much a time of the month, a time of the year, a cycle. And this year carries a lot of these cycles. There's a lot of retrogrades this year. So what happens during this retrograde Mercury is that this immense amount of healing is happening. And now it could happen in all different ways. I mean, there could just be luck. There could just be a knowing, if you're getting close to getting in a car crash, like somebody almost hits you. Like the other day, oh my, and this was horrible. I didn't realize, because my lights are always on auto, and I must have done something without knowing, and I took the lights off auto. So I'm on the freeway, and it's, it's dark, it's nighttime, and this car cuts into my lane, and I swear to God, it was like so close to hitting me. And I still am completely clueless that I have no lights on. And it came so close to hitting me, but it didn't. And as that happened, something like clicked in my brain, and I was like, oh my God, that was my fault. Your first reaction is like, oh my God, what a moron. But, it ended up being my fault. I was able to fix the problem, and it was like in the nick of time. That's the energy that we're in. We're like dodging bullets, just trying, in that heat of the moment, desperation kind of situations in which make you make decisions. And they're decisions that have to come from that intuition, that primal place. There's something very crucial about that. And you have to realize that Saturn, rules time. And as Saturn steps out of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, it steps into Aquarius, which is also ruled by Saturn. Now, in modern astrology, Uranus is associated with Aquarius. But in traditional, it's Saturn, and that makes sense. And I think that's always like the Aquarius part of our chart, or if we have heavy Aquarius placements, there's always a part of us that feels like they don't fit in. And that's because the Aquarian is familiar, all so familiar. They know the rules, they know right from wrong, but they're so brilliant that they see past it. They see past it, and they have a knowing of what to do and the changes and adjustments that need to be made quickly, and they instinctively do that. So Saturn switching phases, it still it carries a very karmic theme. If you think about the zodiac wheel, the very end, the last signs is Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and then you start the new zodiacal year. And if you realize the pile-ups that we have going on in Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces right now, it is so symbolic to the fact that we are closing out old karmic cycles. We're ending old ways of lives, and we have to change things at a profound level, in a profound way. And if you haven't begun the adjustments, if you're showing resistance, this month's going to kick your ass. And it's going to kick your ass like you couldn't even imagine. It will make the Saturn-Pluto conjunction seem like it wasn't a big deal because you didn't react to it, right? You got away with it. You got away with continuing your behavior. Apparently you didn't pick up on a lesson or something. Now, I'm not saying this is you, but if anyone in our lives has remained resistant, and this especially applies to our fixed sign type people, especially a fixed sign moon, this month is going to catapult them one way or another. Now, it doesn't have to be negative. None of this energy has to be negative. Sometimes the ending is already occurred. We're doing the emotional purging and healing. The final lessons are being delivered. Like I said, divine intervention, because when planets are retrograde, oh my God, I just throw Mercury in there. When planets are retrograde, they're closer to the Earth. They appear to be closer to the Earth. Their energy appears to be stronger and more effective on us. And in that way, allowing their energy to alter our paths in some way. taking away a little bit of our own choices, our free will, if you believe that. So that's why this first half of the month is so important, because you're being showed so many signs. And Libra, I know that you know this because you've been through it. You've been through it. That conjunction in your fourth house, that's profound changes to your actual soul. These were some of my Libras probably had tremendous loss, and some may have had tremendous gains, just depending on the way that your chart is shut. But it doesn't matter, because either way you have to begin to adjust to this new way of life. And if you have built resistance, you didn't make the changes that you needed to make, you didn't step aside and allow to kind of surrender your free will. I always say, like, give it to God. This is where you have to give it to God. But it's also where you have to ask for what you need. It is so amazing to me how many people can go through life and say things like, I never win. I never get what I want. Nothing ever works out for me. That negative mindset. And it's very easy to get stuck in. It's so simple. Because the more you think like that, it's a self-made prophecy. That's how your life unfolds. And then, you kind of go about devising all these plans to get out of issues and to change your circumstances. There's so much energy put into it, but I think there's very profound times in our lives where what we're doing, what we're capable of, what we know how, isn't going to work anymore. And all you have to do is ask. And during times when planets are retrograde, if you ask, they will always, always answer. So, for instance, if you're starving and you really want a cake, but you refuse to ask anyone for a cake, then you really can't be pissed off at the universe for not knowing what you wanted without asking. Step 1. Step 2, you ask for the cake. And not only do you ask for the cake, but as you're asking for the cake, you actually visualize how good that cake tastes. Now, you don't know what color that cake is, what flavor it is. You have no idea. You're open to anything. You just know you want a really good bite of cake. And you're imagining tasting this cake, and it's just the best cake you've ever had, and it makes you so happy. And for that moment, you are so completely fulfilled. That is how you ask for what you want. That's how you ask for help. Or you could simply say, I surrender. I surrender. God, please show me the way. God, whoever you want to call it, Spirit, the divine, whatever makes you comfortable. You just ask. And then you will see the signs. Be open to the signs. Do not doubt yourself at this time. This is a real tricky period with Neptune, because Neptune will allow, especially for a Libra, those there's self-doubt. And you have Pisces in your 6th house, and that's a very mental, psychological house. So a retrograde through there can increase the self-doubt instead of the surrendering, instead of taking, sometimes for Libras, they can get gently nudged and gently nudged and gently nudged, and somebody says, this is an issue. Okay, this issue just got worse. Okay, this is really bad now. And the Libra is just working his way through temporarily fixing, making sure to please everybody around them, but never actually changing the circumstances of that. And the universe has to really, really push you to see the bigger picture, Libra. And so I just don't want you to go into this retrograde Mercury where they are giving you an opportunity for help and for healing and for answers, and then when the universe is giving you the answers and helping you find the way, you allow all of this self-doubt to creep in your mind, and you refuse to look at the signs, or you refuse to understand the lessons, because then the lessons have to get real difficult, and there's no need for that anymore. We are all working on raising our vibration. That is our only responsibility, and by raising our vibration, it is what will improve this planet, our politics. That is the truth. As we step into the age of Aquarius, there is tremendous healing and growth towards the future. Everybody has to cooperate. Everybody has to communicate. Everybody has to play. And in order to enjoy it, you have to raise the vibration. So that's what this is doing for you. And if you are somebody who is dealing, especially at this time, with an addiction, either you have addressed the issue or you are holding on to that addiction, white knuckling it, knowing it's about to get ripped out of your hands. It's almost rock bottom. You're almost there, but you're going to have one more good day. One more good experience, one more go at it. This is a real growing up time, and the universe isn't going to allow you to waste time anymore. Allow the healing. There's a full moon coming up on the 9th in your 12th house that is so profound for you, because it's going to bring an end to the way that you are so critical on yourself. You're gonna have to really look in the mirror at that time and make the changes, address the issues, clean it out, sort it, organize it, figure out what's real in your mind, what you do have control over, and admit what you don't have control over. Venus meeting Uranus in Taurus in your 8th house. Wow. Venus loves Taurus. She's at home there. And Taurus, although always beautiful and well put together and polite and sensual in Taurus, Venus will be. Uranus is there. 8th house Uranus. Sudden losses, sudden financial issues, trust issues, connection issues, where your mental blocks are. Going through your shadow side, addressing your weaknesses. There is nothing wrong with having a weakness. Everybody has lots of them. We are actually given them so that we can learn to overcome them and see what we are truly capable of. So in the admitting that you have a shadow side, you are not a broken person. You are actually more valuable in that state. So if you're going through a situation in which you're feeling like you have to expose the shadow side of yourself, like people are triggering you, and all of a sudden you're beginning to snap at people and break the expectations of what they've known from you for all this time. These are there could be financial issues, gains or losses. The 8th house is other people's money. So you may suddenly find out that your in debt much more than you had expected. Or a check can come in unexpectedly from a spouse or a partner that pays off all your debt in the nick of time. These are the themes that I'm talking about. These are karmic issues that are flowing through your chart, allowing you to open up to more abundance. But you can't open up and make space to it until you've let go. So again, 6th house, 12th house axis. If you are dealing with addictions of any kind, it is a crucial, crucial time to look at that. My guides are urging me to make that clear. Saturn will be stepping into your 5th house. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more Saturn at the end of the month, but this month is the Uranus, Mercury kind of feeling, and Venus as well. So, yeah. Let's start to work on these cards. One of the things that I'm doing a little bit differently for my air signs is I have a deck that I've pulled only major arcana from. And I'm going to pull one card, and that is going to give us an idea of the theme of what you're dealing with. And then we'll go from there and pull more cards. As I'm pulling, guys, I just want to remind you that the coronavirus, a lot of people are asking astrologers, what is the deal with this? It's bad. It is what it is. You know what it is. The outbreak will spread. The tough aspect is that it's probably going to create detrimental fear. We already saw it destroying the stock market. It's having major issues with exportation. There's so much going on. The Mars hanging out with the South Node creates the fear. The Pisces energy can feed into that paranoia. I think we will find a vaccine or something that helps very, very soon. I think it's right around the corner. But I do think we're going to be dealing for a long time with issues revolving around quarantining, doomsday prepping kind of themes. And it's going to become a little bit normal and a typical part of our lives. I think it will be detrimental to the elderly and the people with compromised immune systems. And for that, we have to turn to our Piscean part of ourselves where we just pray and have faith and understand that sometimes the universe has to experience some really horrific and painful things. But in the turning of those painful things into having the ability to save us in the future or learning from the lesson, recognizing it, that makes all the difference in the world. That's what we're here to do. The Star. Just like I said, this is all about healing. This is all about surrender right now. And look at her. I mean, that's like so serene. Like she's truly feeling connected to everything around her, which is giving her the strength to overcome. You guys might be having some serious communication issues. I don't know, all these readings, I think because it's the Mercury energy in Pisces, we're kind of being urged to go within right now, to not make decisions, not really talk about our feelings quite yet. It's coming. The opportunities are coming. But as I do all this energy, it's a lot of stuck energy. There's like fear here. There's so much, that blue is the need to communicate, but you have to communicate by way of surrendering. You have to communicate with your soul. You can't be in a self-defensive, egotistical place. You have to be in a place in which you are so vulnerable and open to the advice, the feedback, the decisions of others and how to proceed. You have to be open to the divine assisting you during this phase. You have to ask for what you need. These are conversations between you and the universe, not others. These are intimate thoughts and conversations you have quietly in bed at night. The honesty that you have to be with yourself. With that comes tremendous opportunities. Let's pull your cards. Lord, I am so sorry. I don't know why I just did that. Because Spirit wants me to know how very resistant you're being, Libra. I think now is a time to really have faith. To really have faith in your intuition if you feel like you know. If Uranus comes around and blindsides you with something, then you have faith that whatever it is that's being removed or confronted or exposed is truthfully for the greater good of all. It is so that you can get to a place of healing and improving your overall life. Queen of Wands. Magician in reverse. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Cups. And the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck. Six of Swords. Okay, Libra. So the overall energy is the surrender and the healing. We have a Queen of Wands energy. This could be you. It could be a partner, a significant other, a friend. Or it could be an opportunity. But Queen of Wands is coming out next to the Magician in reverse. So something is being manipulated here. When I see the Magician in reverse, the first thing I think of is someone is manipulating. And I think that the Queen of Wands can see right through that energy. I think there's exposure here. Now you pick whether you are the Queen of Wands or the Magician in reverse, but I have two very different energies. One person moves steadily. She's not overzealous. She's in control. She attracts things to her. She makes things happen. She demands the truth and it's given to her. You can't lie to this person. She sees right through you. When she looks at you and you're at the vibration of a Magician in reverse, again, this can be vice versa. But when she looks at that Magician, She knows exactly what lies he's telling, and honestly, she's over it. There's just a feeling of I'm over it, done with this kind of behavior. And current energy, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there's no commitment. There is no commitment. So if you're the queen, this person, you're realizing there's a character or a situation in your life that's just completely undoing itself. You're just watching somebody somewhat spin out of control, say things and do things to get you to believe things otherwise, but as they're talking to you, you're looking at them like, are you kidding me? Do you think I'm this stupid? And I think there's a level of realizing you can't stay here. That this person isn't going to change. This situation isn't going to change. And the Queen of Wands is very clear on how and when to move. And she doesn't avoid it. A fire sign is not avoidant at all. Now, the Magician, it really could embark on any energy. And that's why I say this could be a situation even. If this is a job, it's beneath you. It doesn't ignite you creatively. There's no passion for this situation whatsoever. This situation is so immature for you. And so whatever offer, contract, whatever was on the table, the Queen of Wands is taking back. She's just not having it, and she's quite clear that it doesn't suit her and that she's worth so much more. It could also be somebody, you know, if I have a Libra here who has been in a relationship for a long time and they're looking to, oh yeah, if this is somebody who has to, let's say, draw an ultimatum needs to occur here, or they've been given an ultimatum, maybe. Maybe they've been avoiding the whole commitment situation and conversation, and the other person in the relationship says, look, I'm not waiting around forever. I want to have children. I want to do these things. Are you or aren't you? And it turns out that they aren't, right? And there could be a minute or a time in which some healing has to occur. Some looking back. You know, the Six of Cups to me, it always reminds me, it's just so whimsical. I'm not sure if it's a little girl's hat, but there's just something so whimsical. And the way that the younger girl is looking at her, like she's such an idol. And so in the challenge card position, there may have been a time when you saw this person that you're having to confront, that you're having to cut off or create firm boundaries. There may have been a time when you looked at them with such profound innocence. I get innocence here. I get real love. I get unconditional love. I get respect. I get idolization. This card is always about the fantasy. Even when we look back at things from our past, we do tend to romanticize them. Remember all the good stuff. The bad stuff, you know, unless it's left wounds that we haven't healed yet, you know, looking back, we tend to remember the really good things, the really good feelings. And we don't recognize that there were significant issues there. But it's really weird because coming in right after that challenge card, I mean, we have an Ace of Pentacles in reverse, so there's no offer on the table. There's no commitment at this time. But outcome is a Hierophant. So this could mean a couple of things, and we're going to need to clarify. But the outcome, the Hierophant, first glance, I'm going to say there's a commitment. Hierophant is commitment. But it could be a newfound commitment in yourself, in your self-worth, in the knowing that if you stay at this vibration of the Queen of Wands and you draw the boundaries and you say, I will not participate in this situation. So either you have to change or the situation has to change. And again, that Queen of Wands, she attracts. She doesn't do. She doesn't do the work. She attracts the people that do the work for her. She is that creative. So the Queen of Wands is not somebody who is going to beg you to pick up the dishes or clean the bathroom. You will just simply do it, or you won't be in her home. It's that simple. Let's clarify, because bottom of the deck, Six of Swords, there was certainly lessons to be learned from this situation, and there's definitely a sense of moving on to calmer waters. However, again, I don't know if it is moving on to calmer waters with somebody or on your own, because a lot of times this can represent taking the lessons we learned, taking both our masculine and our feminine sides along with our inner child, and moving to calmer waters. So it's sort of the mind, body, and soul, our strength, our ability to accept abundance, and our innocence all create this balance within us, and then we're able to move on. Sometimes I see this often as a card of forgiveness. Let's clarify really quick here. Let's see what Spirit wants to tell me about these cards. A lot of my readings, because maybe I'm only doing it for the 2 weeks, has not really been a really strong, specific outcome to a situation. It's more of a feeling of you're going to be going through this situation. There may be an ending, a pause, a break, but ultimately, I think a lot of the situations either might be bringing in new beginnings immediately after you let go to the old, or the bad things that are happening, the bad things will turn out to be good things that force situations to improve. I mean, that's sort of my take, and it goes along with the planetary energy. But otherwise, you know, I think the readings at the middle of the month are going to be much more decisive. Again, retrograde Mercury. Yeah, see, Page of Cups in reverse. Oh, okay. Ten of Swords. Magician. Well, that tells the whole story right there. I'm really picking up on this energy of not solidifying a commitment. Let's see what this Ace of Pentacles in reverse wants to talk about. That's pretty clear. Oh. Okay. 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 Got it. I feel like that one wanted to come out. Let's give it a couple more. All right, what I really want to know about Spirit is this Hierophant. Tell me more about this Hierophant for my Libras. I just noticed those two men are bald in the same exact way, or it's a hat that they're wearing. But I see bald. Oh my gosh, I'm getting a whole story now. Four of Cups coming up a lot in so many readings. This is so interesting. I don't typically do this, but I just want to pull a animal energy card for this Hierophant. Really? Okay. So, Queen of Wands, Page of Cups in reverse, Ten of Swords. This is what you're let's just call the Queen of Wands that's what you're attracting. Immature offers of love. Insignificant offers. Again, next to that Magician, it's like being manipulated by small tokens of love and affection. The Magician, Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, Knight of Pentacles in reverse. All right, I'm picking up an energy now where I'm picking up on an energy now where the person that Libra's dealing with, the person the Queen is dealing with, is going through some kind of I don't know, I'm hearing breakdown. There's some kind of a thing that your person's going through, which cause you to have to put an end to the relationship, or there was an end to the relationship. This person was very out of balance. Now, with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups, either they were making promises and declarations of love that were not true, or Knight of Pentacles, they were true, but this person got real scared and came to a screeching halt. Either way, Knight of Pentacles in reverse, no action. They're not taking any action towards that Queen of Wands. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Swords in reverse. Nine of Wands in reverse. Yes, there could be a job loss. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There could be something that happens with the finances. Maybe this person had some financial issues that they didn't want you to know about, Libra. But either way, any solid foundation, commitment, offer, any chance of moving this relationship to the next level or staying in a committed relationship right now does not look good. And it looks like it is due to the fact that no decision is being made. I feel like this is my ignoring and avoiding card. Also cleared up with the Knight of Wands. This person, I don't want to say you didn't feel safe with this person, but you didn't feel protected by this person. Like they don't have your back. They don't have your best interest in mind. You aren't their main consideration. Yeah, I feel like you kind of had to walk on eggshells here. And that may have also led to that breaking point. I'm not seeing Five of Swords, so I don't see like a shit ton of like conflict or anything, but no Five of Wands. But it feels like they just didn't protect you. That's what I'm hearing. Didn't protect you. So then the Six of Cups, clarified by the Ace of Cups in reverse, is that whatever that nostalgia and that innocent fantasy is in the situation that you keep coming back to, maybe this is like, oh my God, I think this is a soulmate. Maybe we're meant to be together. But you can't continue to accept behavior that is beneath you. Even if it is Jesus himself that you're dating, it's not good enough. You can't operate under that. And I see Ace of Swords in reverse. So there's no truth to this fantasy of love that one or both of you kind of built up in your head. Hierophant. I gotta pull this. Oh, I'm so confused with this. Hierophant, clarified by the Four of Cups, which is like complacency. It's like the universe is handing you a gift and you just don't even want to look at it. You know, that's kind of the that's the point you get to when you're like, all right, I've had enough bad, disastrous relationships. I'm not dating anymore. This isn't for me. you start to make plans where you're like going to have a bunch of cats and move in with your girlfriends when you guys are 65, like those things start to sound good compared to the shit that you've been through in the past. Maybe they're also saying that you have to let go of all of the situations in your past, that because those things in your past went that way, it doesn't mean that this situation has to go that way, or the next situation that comes in will go that way. So it's kind of like, okay, this cycle, be it one relationship into another or the same relationship in a reconciliation kind of situation, if it does start up again or you do meet somebody new, don't judge that person by the way the people in the past have treated you. Knight of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So, Knight of Cups in reverse. Why is this here? Why is this here? Let me read this animal spirit card that I pulled specifically for that Hierophant, because I just want to know, is this like a new commitment coming in, or is this like a balancing of, let's see. Let's read this. Hawk, watchful, all-seeing messenger of divinity. The sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly, though it may seem small or insignificant. It will eventually redirect your course. When in balance, sees clearly and is intuitive. When out of balance, sees too much and is suspicious. Perspective shift. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's the message here, is that whether this person, there's something happening which you have to draw a boundary or draw a line. And if the person is willing to cooperate, if you tell somebody, I want a commitment, we have to be engaged in the next 6 months, or you want to move in together in the next 6 months, and they look at you and go, absolutely not, and walk out the door, then you let that happen, because it's going to catapult you into the next thing. But if this person leaves and then comes back and says, man, I didn't really realize I loved you as much as I did, can we talk about this? Stay open to that as well. So again, you're not going to get an answer here. You are not going to get a solid answer. What I can tell you, that in the next 2 weeks, things will bubble to the surface. There will be no denying, and certain issues will be addressed and healed within yourself or within this connection. Knight of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse means that you're not going to block yourself from receiving love. You cannot carry the complacency, like I don't even want to be in love, this isn't for me anymore. You don't want to go there. And you also don't want to go into that mode of, anxiety and suspicion over somebody, or stay in an area where you don't know, you're uncomfortable, you're stressed, you don't know if your dreams are happening or not. When you let go of that negative behavior, and like I said, surrender a little bit to what the divine is about to bring you, that's when you'll come into something really solid that you've always dreamt of. But it's in the working through and knowing the self-worth and claiming your own importance and your own respect, that it catapults others into treating you that way. And then you begin to realize that people will treat you how you demand to be treated. And you start to realize, magician in reverse, when the magician is upright, this person has power and magnetism, right? This person is a powerful person. And they can create abundance. They could bring you love, stability, passion. There's intellect. There's loyalty and a sense of forever when they're in balance and when the relationship is in balance. And so this may be a significant person to a Queen of Swords, somebody who respects that kind of power. But you can't have an abuse of power. And nobody deserves to be treated that way, even if they are in a more important position or seems to be in a better place than you. So keep that in mind, Libra. Know your worth to whatever you're dealing with this person. Talk about it, claim what you need, decide how you want to proceed, and just do it. And, allow divinity to take it from there. This person may need a really solid wake-up call, and that's what is occurring at this point. So let it happen. All right, Libra, I will see you back in 2 weeks. Until then, much, much love. Bye.